Greetings, Light Tribe. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon for Harmony Energy Healing. And it's election day 2020. So I just wanted to talk about a couple little things. And it's difficult to speak knowledgeably on something that is so vast or involved. It's intricate, it's deep. There are just so many unknowns. So we have bits and pieces of information that mean something to us, or that we react to, that we resist or adopt or accept, with regard to parties and sides and denominations or whatever it is, whatever our limited understanding or programming of that thing is. And so we might have ways that we understand things. So some people might be more conservative, some people might be more liberal, hopefully not at the expense of anyone else. And we may or may not know why we're that way, why we're drawn towards something in particular, or repelled away from something. We may or may not know why that is, and we may or may not understand it in other people. So with the limited knowledge that we have perspectives and opinions and viewpoints. We have certain knowing, and we might know things that are truths or truths for us, or we might know things that we think are truths that are incomplete truths, or we might even believe things that are false and not know it. So it gets confusing. And then the stuff that we're bombarded with, because there's certain things out there that are giving people information, but they're not giving people all the information. There's a lot of information that isn't being shared that would be helpful if it was. So like, I have a friend who does a lot of research and she's real knowledgeable. And we were talking the other day, and she said, we were talking about different parties and how things originated. And she said, well, did you know that? And so, I like to be as neutral as I can. Like, I don't even like to label myself with any party or any denomination of religion or whatever. I have my my viewpoints and my beliefs, which sometimes I might discuss with people, which I'm not going to do here. But I've always been a conservative person, but I don't try to shove that down anyone's throat. I'm willing to talk about it with people, and I learn from the people that I talk to, because there's a lot I don't know. But again, I don't like to label myself. I like the middle road. I like the middle path as much as possible. I find that if people are explaining something to me, that I have an ability to see both sides or understand both sides, or have hold space for that, have empathy for that, which is good. But anyway, what my friend was saying is, she goes, because I'm just not knowledgeable enough about how certain things came into being. But she said, well, did you know that the Republican Party came about, or started, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but that it was to help end slavery. That's when that came about, is that it was at least part of the purpose for that. Two sides fighting something, fighting against each other, fighting for something, fighting against something. And I didn't know that. And she said, and did you know that the Republican Party, whatever that is or isn't, whatever it was then, whatever it is now, I don't know. But that she said they also helped women get to vote. I didn't know that either. So it was interesting to learn that, I thought. So, I mean, there's good parts about things, okay, that we may or may not know. Maybe something started out as something, and then maybe it morphed into something else, and maybe there's parts of it we don't like now, on either side, okay? So there's information that we're lacking, which might have an effect on how we feel about something. With more information, it might change our perspective. So I talk a lot about being aware of being in an energy of hatred, like where people are so angry at someone or something, or that they attack it, or they're unkind to people, or they mistreat people because they put them in this group, or if they're in a group, or if people think they're in a group, that they're going to be shunned, okay, or whatever. So that can be difficult, but it can also be a learning experience. So what do we learn from that? How do we learn to stand in our power? How do we learn to let go of something that isn't what we thought it was? So right now, so people do what they feel is right with the information that they have, with the limited information that they have. They do what they think is right, what they feel is right. Obviously, that's what they're doing. But it's just important to be aware that we are typically lacking information. Nobody here knows every damn thing. So I just feel like it's important to try to be open to, you know, there's certain things we focus on that are trigger points, that are important, that we blow everything else out of the way because of that thing. You know, if there's extremism on any side, it's revealing something that needs to be healed. It's out of balance. It's just revealing something that needs to be healed, which we may not be aware of. And sometimes we focus too much on one thing and we're missing the bigger picture. So instead of being so zoomed in, to let's zoom it out and, you know, be more open to the fact that, listen, and not just to certain programming or not just to a particular side, okay, but like listen, be willing to learn. So if we can learn about the opposite of what we believe or what we cling to or what our side is, if we listen to something, we might learn something if we're open enough to do so. You know what I mean? So you can just learn about the enemy, if that's what it is or what it seems to be. You can learn by trying to understand why they have their belief systems, and belief isn't always truth. So anyway, that's all for this video. So prayers and blessings for whatever is to come, for the new year, for the new world that we're going to create into being, and what energy are we using to do that. Something to think about. Peace.